Where are we?
Milk and cake.
Food. We got food.
We got froyo.
We got good stuff.
And Chipotle.
Some milk and cake.
Subscribe to Madison's channel and mine.
And subscribe to my really awesome.
You have a channel?
Yes, I do.
I did not know that.
It's called High Altitude Eventing.
And subscribe to Molly Mitchell. Yeah.
Yes, and I have High Altitude Eventing.
Promotions. Subscribe to Jake and Cat Vivo too.
What the heck is that?
Music. It's music.
What is it called?
Wait.
Today is day 2 of rally.
Yep.
How's it going?
We're excited.
They got our new Pony Club shirts on. Check it, and new bows.
And studying.
I like pencils.
Just click on them.
You guys have fun?
Yeah.
Horses, briars.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the Briar website too.
Okay, and in first place in the C division with 432 points, Eagle River and Great Plains.
Nice job, Madison.
Hey guys, it's Madison. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys just saw, I was at Quiz Rally for February 24th and 25th competing as a C2 for the Eagle River Pony Club, and it went really well, and I thought I would talk all about my Quiz Rally 2018 experience with you all. So without further ado, let's just get on into the video. So for those of you who don't know what Pony Club or Quiz Rally is, Pony Club is an international organization that strives to teach young riders more about horse management and not just focus on the riding part. So you get certified when you feel like you're ready, and you move up levels and things like that, and it just shows what you're capable of riding wise and what you know knowledge wise. So I am a C1 riding and a C1 traditional riding, which means I have my C1 eventing certification, which is equivalent to beginner novice, and then I have my C2 horse management, which is the knowledge of the next level up. So Quiz Rally is all about your knowledge. So when you go, you declare your horse management rating. So you walk around and say, "Hi, my name is Madison Rich. I am a C2 from Eagle River Pony Club, and I would like this, this, and this," like when you ask for your questions and things like that. So there, in America at least, Quiz Rally is divided up, or in America, Pony Club is divided up into regions. So I am part of the Rocky Mountain region, and every year they hold a Quiz Rally on the last weekend of February, and I had so much fun this year. This is the first time my sister and I have ever been on the same team together, either because she's a D and I'm a C, or because I'm a senior and she's a junior. Like, our ages just have never matched up. And the one year that they did, well, there's 2 years that they did. One year she didn't compete, and the other year there was like 10 kids going from our club as junior D, so they split us up. But this year we had the privilege of being on a team together, and we were the only 2 C's from Eagle River Pony Club. So we went and scrambled with another girl named Emma from Wyoming, and she actually won TET Nationals last year, and I've gotten to know her over the past year or so, I'd say. I met her at Mega Rally in June of last year, and then we went to Nationals together, and I'm so glad she's on our team. So shout out to you, Emma. Thank you so much for being on our team. We had so much fun. Alrighty, so Quiz Rally this year on the 24th, I had the privilege of teaching. There's always a horse management clinic on the first half day, And so I taught about teeth. Someone always says jump, someone always says like types of attire, someone always says boots and wraps. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit non-traditional, and I love teeth. Like, that is like one of my favorite things, which sounds kind of weird, but I've just like, probably for like the past 4 months, I've loved studying them and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, I should talk about teeth. And I realized when I got there that that wasn't the smartest choice, because when you're teaching to mainly 7 to 10-year-olds, nobody cares about teeth. So I'm really sorry if you had to suffer through my lecture about teeth. I talked really fast and it probably was not that entertaining for you. So next year, give me ideas on what to teach you about. Because like I said, I wanted to do something new and different, but I realized teeth ended up being really boring, especially for everyone who had to like listen to my talk. So I talked to, I think there ended up being 40 to 50 kids. They're supposed to be 60, but I walked away with a lot more handouts than I came with. Or no. The handouts that I brought, I came back with a lot more than I thought I was gonna, if that makes sense. They said there was gonna be 62 kids there, so I brought 70 sheets, and I probably came back with like 25. Granted, not every kid took one, but, you know, that's beside the point. So that was fun, and it's always good practice. I got, you know, volunteering and then speaking in front of groups, and I had to do my presentation 8 times, which was good because I think by the end of it I hopefully slowed down a little bit, because I stuttered, or I didn't stutter, I talk really fast when I'm, you know, I teach my pony clubs and meetings almost every week, and so I've gotten really comfortable with them, but it was really good for me to go teach other new kids, especially when they're not paying attention the whole time and stuff like that. So I guess that was like good for me to like, you know, not everybody really cares about this. Either way, then after that, once the competition started at about 1 o'clock, we had the senior D's and C's have the written test. So you basically take a test based on your rating. Now, you know, if I were to go up and take any of the D tests, I would be really mad at myself if I didn't get 100%, because it's kind of like, you know, I haven't been a D3 in like 3 years? No, 2 years. So it's just one of those things that's like, you know, but as you get to your level, like as a C2, okay, as a D1 there's so little that you have to know, but every year it just exponentiates. So the vet category for a D level person or a D level rider might be, you know, what do I do if my pony cut its leg? But now as like a C, it could be anything about vaccinations, poisonous plants, boots and wraps, unsoundnesses, the anatomy of the leg, the function of certain tendons and ligaments. Like, there's just so much more. So my goal this year on the written test for my C2 written test was to get a 70%, and I ended up getting an 80, which was really awesome. Our test mainly comprised of they're all 25 questions long. 6 of the questions were about parasites, which I ended up mixing 2 of them up, because one was like fill in the blank. You'd said like this type of parasite, you know, causes young horses to cough, is commonly found in young horses, and the answer was asteroids, so I got that one right, which is awesome. But then there's 5 matching ones, and I mixed up large strongyles and pinworms, I believe. But you know, that's not the end of the world. There are also some questions about some rules things. There was a lot of questions about vaccinations, botulism, tetanus, things like that. And then there were some questions about leg conformation and how that affects movement, so plating, interfering, things like that. So I was really happy. Next, so there are only 2 teams at Quiz Rally this year, or only 2 C teams at Quiz Rally this year. But next, after that, we went to the barn phase, and the barn phase basically is there's between 3 and 5 stations. This year there's only 3. Last year there was 5, and then a group phase. But there's always at least 3 individual stations and then a group phase. So you go into these different like stalls. It's actually in a barn, and you go into these different stalls. So we went to the feed room this year, and you walk in there and you're like, you know, you decide, you think in your head, or you kind of guess, like, okay, I'm really getting nutrition, so I'll ask a level up or 2 levels up. So, you know, I walk in there and I'm like, hi, my name is Madison Rich. I am a C2 from Eagle River Pony Club, and I'd like an HB question. Nutrition is definitely my forte when it comes to the horse knowledge aspect of it all. So I had to describe Yellow Star Thistle, got that one right, that was awesome. The next phase of barn was actually with a horse, and for the C's it was on soundnesses, so I had to, it was a 3-part question about side bone, and I'm so steamed about this. Okay. Side bone, okay, so my answer for where side bone occurs was that side bone occurs in the pastern joint. Side bone occurs in the hoof, but I wasn't quite sure where, so I said in the hoof, and she's like, where in the hoof? And I said, the pastern joint. Like, I was totally taking a shot in the dark. I was not, you know, I'll admit I wasn't totally sure, but side bone is an unsoundness that causes the collateral cartilages of the coffin bone, and that was the part I missed. So it's the coffin bone, not the pastern joint. Either way, they're both in the hoof. The collateral cartilages of the coffin bone calcify, and because of that, the horse's hoof loses its ability to expand and contract with like impact and motion, which makes it a lot less shock absorbing. And I did not say the coffin bone, so you know, that's alright. I still got some points because it's a multi-part question and it was a level up. Then the next station was the equipment room, and I went for an HB question here because I was kind of, you know, I was like on a roll, and I was like, I'm signed up. I think I'm signed up. I'm scheduled to take my HB on August 3rd and 4th. I was like, you know, let's just see how this goes. I should be able to hopefully pass this one. And the tack stuff actually, as you get to the higher levels, can be pretty complex, just about like bit function and movement and things like that. So I was like kind of hoping I wouldn't have to describe the, you know, the bit movement of a pelham bit. I did not. I had to describe, I thought there was like, honestly, it's like, there's no way this question's an HB question, and yet I was stupid with it. So the question was, what are the 3 main structures that a shipping wrap covers? In my head I'm thinking, okay, shipping wrap versus a stable wrap. What are the 3 things that a shipping wrap covers that a stable bandage doesn't? And that's not the answer he's looking for. But the president of the United States Pony Club actually gave me this question, and he said, think less about what's different, because I said the bulbous the heel, the cornet band, and the knee, and he said the bulbous the heel and the cornet band are right, but you're thinking more about what a shipping wrap covers that a stable bandage doesn't. So I said cannon bone. He's like, yeah, I'll take it. So that was nice of him. Like I said, I didn't think that was an HB question, but you know, I'll roll with it. And then the final station, or the final stage of barn was a trailer one, and this is what it's been for like the past 4 years. The group barn station has always been like a trailer, and they always have things wrong with the trailer, and you have to figure out what's wrong, and you have to walk around and like say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is why. And so for like the junior D's, they had to identify 2 things that were wrong with the trailer. The senior D's had to identify 4 or 5 things, and then the C's had to find 7 things. We ended up finding 17 things wrong with the trailer, which is awesome. So we got 17 points for that, or at least we should have. I don't know. When we got our scores back the next day, everything didn't add up, but that's alright. Either way, that was it for the day. We ended up going back to the hotel, getting Chipotle, swimming, and getting frozen yogurt. It was a good night. So the next day we had stations, mega room, and classroom. So classroom is where you have to stand up and answer a question in front of the group, which is really nerve-wracking, except for when you're a C, nobody really knows what they're talking about, especially at our rally. So it's kind of funny because everyone just laughs it off because it's so casual, and like some of the questions are like ridiculously hard. But then you go to stations and mega room, and stations and mega room are kind of like the same thing, where you walk around to different tables and they're matching questions, except for stations is with your whole team and mega room is by yourself. So our club runs mega room every year, and apparently there's a lot of suspicion that because Eagle River did so well in mega room that people are like, oh my gosh, the parents, all the kids. I teach the meetings, so I had no idea. I taught every meeting from November. Okay, probably October or November until now, except for 2. One where we had a vet come in and talk, and our last one was the parents basically threw a ton of stuff in the room, and they gave us 10 minutes to sort it out in between utility kit, vet box, all that jazz. Either way, we had nothing to do with the kids, and myself had no idea what was going on in Mega Room. So Mega Room ended up being, for the C's, it was shoeing and farrier tools. There were 5 tables, so shoeing and farrier tools was 1, felt pin colors, lunging stuff, colors, which was actually surprisingly hard, and then tack and bits. So like I said, the colors one was actually really hard, like a Sabino over-o, and then a splash over-o, and then a Tovro, and then a spotted blanket Appaloosa, and then yeah, and it ended up going really well. I only missed 2 points out of a possible 50 in that room, and that was because for the felt pin colors, I mixed up the lavender and the purple, mixed up 2 shades of purple, whatever. I honestly had no idea. It was H and then HM. HM is lavender and H is purple, but I mixed them up because they're the same rating level, I think. I honestly don't know how that works. Holy wowzer, this is already 14 minutes. Okay. Stations, like I said, is with a group, and I think there were 8 stations in stations this year. One was charades, where you had to do charades of unsoundnesses and like things like that, and it was ridiculous. You had 30 seconds to answer each one, and like 30 seconds to do it and answer it, and some of them were like ridiculous. Like my sister had to show us do charades for splints for us, and we're like, how in the world was she doing this? So we didn't get that point. We actually ended up doing really bad in stations. Not like terribly bad, but the other team beat us by 7 points even after we inquired and got 3 points back. So, no, 5 points. Oh my goodness. One station we had to put a pell and bridle together, and we mixed up the reins. One station we had to organize stuff in between all the different types of boxes. One was about brushes. One was like by the number, which was so, oh my gosh, we did so bad. We missed 7 points here. Oh man, it was really bad. And the stations were the same for the D's and the C's, except for the pell and bridle and the charades cards. But oh my goodness, the number thing was so bad. It was like, you should stand blank meters away, or the shooter has to stand blank meters away from the target and triathlon. And then a trot is an average of this many miles an hour, all this stuff, and we did so bad. So they're probably 25. No, maybe they were 30. Either way, we missed 7, which is not pretty. But, you know, that's alright. Life goes on. And then finally was classroom, and like I said earlier, I'm like, if I'm doing my HB in August, which I guess that's 6 months away, but I still, like, mentally am like, I should be capable of doing this stuff now. So at Quiz Rally this weekend, I asked for an HB question every single time that I could. So in classroom, you're required to ask your level for the first round, and my question was, what does having a full mouth mean? And I was like, okay, I know this one, like, it honestly was not that hard. But I said, it means a horse has all of its teeth, and she said, has it lost any? And I said, no, because it has a full mouth. Like, I was not thinking baby teeth and permanent teeth, and she said, well, now you put me in, like, you know, there's like 8 people in there because there are only 2 C teams, each with 3 people. And she's like, well, now I'm in an awkward situation because you weren't right and you weren't wrong, because I did not clarify that they've lost all their baby teeth, but they haven't lost any permanent teeth. So I didn't get the points there, but I was like, yeah, no big deal. Like, I know what it means. It's not like I had no idea what it was. So the next 2 rounds, so that was the... Was that the vet question? I think that was the vet question. Either way, there are 3 rounds of classroom 2, and they tell you the categories before you answer them all. So the next one was the vet category, I believe. And my question, I asked for an HB question, and my question was, where does choking occur? Or choking is obstruction to what part of the body? And I said the esophagus. That was right. No big deal. That was good. And then the final round, my question was, what 2 minerals our bones made of, and that's calcium and phosphorus, so I got that. Either way, I was really happy with how we ended the weekend. We ended up winning by 85 points, which was kind of ridiculous, and I feel kind of bad, but I think it's mostly just because, you know, we were like shy for upper level questions, and I think the other team was just, you know, they were there more to have fun, and my sister and I weren't there to compete. We were more there as like a mental game, like we are capable of asking in these upper level questions. So that's kind of how we rolled, and it ended up working out really well. I am very happy that we ended up winning. This is the 3rd year in a row that my team has won, no matter who it's been with, so that was awesome. I've been to Quiz Rally 4 times, and the first time I was unrated, the second time I was a D3, then I was a C1, and now I'm a C2. And so I've won all 3 times, like the last 3 times, except for when I was unrated. We got second, but I'm, you know, as a C now, and there's only like one other team that's like either you get first or you're last. But I don't know, this is probably going to be my last year at Quiz Rally if I pass my HB, just because, or unless they have an HB Quiz Rally next year, because I think they're 5, 1, 2, they're either 5 or 6 HBs in our region. I think they're only 5. Yeah, there are 5 HBs in our region, so if I pass next year, there'd be enough people to have 2 teams if we wanted to. But the HBs help, they run classroom and stuff like that. So I guess we'll have to see. But I'm very glad that it ended on a good note. And I was very proud of myself because I went there this weekend to like be satisfied with myself, not really to win or anything. So I'm just really glad that it went well. And that was kind of like a good motivator for my HB. So that was a very long rant. If you guys have any other questions or want to know more about Rally, I made the video last year and I have not watched it in a heck of a long time, but I'm sure it was terrible because the more I practice, the better I get at making videos and talking to a camera, and I'm sure the video last year was absolutely terrible. But also, shout out, I had a ton of little kids when I was teaching, and 3 or 4 adults this weekend say, hey, thank you so much for making videos about pony club stuff, or I love watching your videos, or, you know, it was just so cute, so thank you guys so much for that. And like I said, I met the treasurer and the president of the United States Pony Club. Now, I unfortunately was eating a cheese stick when I talked to them, so that was really awkward, and I did not know who I was talking to until like 45 minutes later. They're like, oh my gosh, like, and I was like, I was in the break of my presentation, and somebody's like, the president came up to me, and then somebody later was like, you were just talking to the president. I was like, that was the president. Either way. Holy wowzer, this was a heck of a long video, but thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Peace, have an awesome day. Like I said, if you want more videos about Pony Club, Quiz Rally, etc., let me know, and I will be sure to do those. Have a great day. Bye!